What's up, guys? It's another video, and this one is a little different than what I normally do on this channel. I've never done a Yu-Gi-Oh related video on this channel, but I grew up with Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I didn't necessarily know how to play until like early high school, and even then I didn't know all the rules. I still don't know all the rules, but I've recently been watching a lot of so-called Yu-Gi-Tubers like DZeef, Team APS, the Dual Logs, and so forth. But those are the three main ones that I watch. And through watching their videos, I've learned basically what the actual like rules is: destroy versus like send to the graveyard. That there's no such thing as sacrificing, it's called tributing. I didn't know all the exact terminology until like I started watching these guys. So that got me thinking, hey, I used to go on yugiohcardmaker.net, which is this website that's still up that you can actually make custom Yu-Gi-Oh cards. It's one of the easiest ways to make them and probably one of the best ways. I thought that maybe I would go back and look at my old custom cards just to see how bad the wording was and sometimes how broken the effects were or how underwhelming the effects were, depending on like what is in the meta today. Now, by no means am I an expert on the meta, but by watching these guys' videos, I kind of at least have an understanding about the wording and like the current like meta in Yu-Gi-Oh right now. So if you're here just because you like Yu-Gi-Oh and you just discovered my channel, I usually don't do Yu-Gi-Oh content, so you might be disappointed, but you could also check out my other stuff if you don't just like Yu-Gi-Oh, if you like other things too, like comedic videos, vlogs, skits. I'm starting to do some tech reviews now too. So here are all of the cards that I custom made on yugiohcardmaker.net, anywhere from as early as 2012 up to today. I haven't really made any recently, so there won't be any 2019s, 2018s, 2017s. I think there might be 2016s or 2015s, definitely. Maybe not 2016. I think 2015 is like the latest I have cards that I made, and I'm only showing the ones that for some reason didn't get messed up by this site. For some reason there were some that just like lost their attacks. I guess when they update the sites with new types of cards like pendulums, links, XZs. So just be aware that these cards may not be the best worded if you do know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh and you know what the terminologies are, so don't fucking like be like, actually. So anyway, let's jump into it. Here's the first card. Okay, folks, I didn't want this video to be extremely long, so I'm actually gonna split this up into two parts, and I hope you stick around and watch part 2 when that comes out. So the first card is called Afflicted. Now, back in 2013 and 2015, respectively, I made some Skyrim Yu-Gi-Oh cards because at some point in 2013, at some point in 2015, I was like super into Skyrim. So this is one of the 2015 versions, as you can see on the bottom of the card there. And also I named a lot of my cards that Kazuki Takahashi instead of like my actual name. Like people would be fooled like they were real. But anyway, yes, this was a 2015 card, so the language would be a little bit better than the 2013 cards. So the Afflicted is a dark level 3 zombie effect with 1100 attack and 200 defense. With this effect, if this card attacks your opponent's life points directly, your opponent loses 500 life points each of their standby phases until this card is removed from the field. So some mediocre burn damage. Yeah, and this card actually has to get off an attack. It just can't declare an attack. So yeah, this would not be necessarily good, except that the typing and the attribute and the level might be good for some like synchros, XZs, other stuff like that. This one was made in 2015 as well. This was Aqua, Immortal of Water. I thought I was clever making it like some sort of like kind of cryptic sounding name like Aqua. But it's really just fucking aqua, like water. All right, so Aqua, Immortal of Water, is a water level 5 spellcaster effect with 2000 attack and 1000 defense. All right, and this is the effect. This card gains 500 attack for every water monster on your side of the field. This card can attack your opponent's life points directly, even if there is a monster on their side of the field, but its attack is halved. Now, with that effect, you don't really need to say even if there is a monster on their side of the field, you could just say this card can attack directly, because most people know what that means. That's just a little too wordy then. It's not necessarily wrong, but whatever. When this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can special summon 2 splash tokens, water level 4, aqua 1200 attack, 1100 defense, to your side of the field. Okay, so it would probably mainly be used to like get some like weird OTK thing where it's like it attacks directly, and like, because I mean, you could get like 3 of these on the board somehow. You could cheat them out. If you have a bunch of water monsters on your side of the field, this card could get pretty beefy. So even having its attack would still be pretty good if all 3 of them were on the field and could attack. This is stupid. It's only when it's destroyed by card effect and not by actual like battle or anything. So you could destroy it by your own card effect. So that could be a little bit cheesy there. You could special summon 2 splash tokens with below average stats for a level 4, but still like 2 tokens that you can do whatever you want with. That could come in handy. Here's one of those overpowered cards. The 2013 Skyrim cards. Here we go. This is Alduin the World Eater, a dark level 12 dragon ritual effect with 4,550 attack and 4,000 defense. Pretty beefy guy. Now let's see what his actual effect is. This card can only be ritual summoned by activating the ritual spell card, the Void in Time, and by sacrificing monsters from your hand or field whose levels total 12 or more. There's the thing where I said like sacrificing versus tributing. I did not know what tributing actually was. I don't even know in 2015 if I knew what it actually meant. So yeah, let's just ignore that for now. When this card destroys one of your opponent's monsters by battle, inflict 3,000 points of damage to their life points. This effect can only be used once per turn. 3,000 points of burn damage is insane. That's not just some mediocre burn damage right there. I just realized it's not a hard once per turn. This is just a once per turn for this card. So if you do have 3 Alduins out and there's 3 monsters on your opponent's side of the field, if there's 3 or less, basically, you're going to win the duel because this thing can beat over anything, basically. And 3,000 points of burn damage per attack is 9,000, so you could easily OTK your opponent there. Here's an actual little thing that could actually be useful in supporting the vampire archetype that already exists, because it doesn't necessarily like say like Skyrim vampire. So these cards could be used in any vampire deck that's actually out there. This was my 2015 cards. So Ancient Vampire, Dark, level 6 zombie effect with 2,400 attack and 2,000 defense. Now its effect is, instead of attacking during the battle phase, you may use this card's effect during main phases 1 or 2 to special summon a vampire monster from your graveyard. Now this is like one of those like times where I like over explain things, like you may use this card's effect. There's going to be a lot of those, so I'm just addressing that now. I won't address it again. It really should be actually worded this: you can special summon a vampire monster from your graveyard during your main phase. This card cannot attack the turn you activate this effect. It's a pretty balanced card, I would say. If you special summon any vampire from the graveyard, that's pretty good. So, like, yeah, you could, like, bring out any of your ones that can be special summoned at all. So that's pretty good. It's a good trade-off for not being able to attack. Now we got a card that looks like it actually, the artwork could be from a Yu-Gi-Oh card, a real one. I don't know if there actually is one like this. But I got all these images from Google Images because I'm not a great digital artist or anything like that. So anyway, this is another 2013 card. Aqua Dragon, water, level 6 dragon effect with 2,400 attack and 1,500 defense. If this card battles with a fire monster, have the monster's attack and add it to this card's attack. It's basically like a permanent metamorph, but only against fire monsters, and even better because your opponent's monster loses half their attack and this gains it. So it's not necessarily the best, but it's a good beater, honestly. All right, so we got another 2015 Skyrim card, the Bandit archetype, starting out with Bandit Chief. It is an Earth level 5 warrior vanilla with 2,200 attack and 1,900 defense. It's all right stats. It's average for a level 5. This ruffian will give you a run for your money. Literally. Haha, you're so funny, Dylan. Not only is he crafty in the arts of thievery, but he is also quite a brute. So yeah, not much to say. Average, vanilla level 5. Now here's the effect monsters in the Bandit archetype. It's funny how like the boss monster in their archetype is a vanilla, just like a lot of like Dark Magician or something like that. Anyway, now we have Bandit Highwayman, Earth level 4 warrior effect with 2000 attack and 1000 defense. Once per turn, you can use this card's effect to make your opponent lose 300 life points and add that to your own life points. So, I mean, you could get a good beater on the field with no tribute and have some mediocre burn damage and life point gain. Its effect is very bad, but it's a good beater, so I guess that's a thing. Next in the Bandit archetype is a Bandit Marauder, an Earth level 4 warrior effect with 2100 attack and 1500 defense. A little bit better because, you know, this get level 5 territory here. So let me guess, this card is a drawback. Yes, it does. If this card attacks during your battle phase, when else would it attack? Don't know. If this card attacks during your battle phase, it switches to defense position at the end of your turn. Now, it doesn't change immediately. So I don't know if there's any like weird things you could do with that during your main phase 2. This card is not that good, honestly. It's just a beater that has a drawback. Next in the Bandit archetype is Bandit Outlaw, an Earth level 4 warrior effect with 2000 attack, 500 defense. It's another beater. For each bandit monster on your side of the field, this card gains 500 defense. Now, this would probably not even be that good if it was 500 attack gain, but gaining 500 defense, yeah, it's just a beater again, basically. What is up with making all these bandits not that good? All right, next is the Bandit Thug, an Earth level 5 warrior effect with 2100 attack and 2000 defense. Basically, this better have a good effect because there's a level 4 beater that has 2100 attack. So let's see here. This card can be special summoned from your hand without a tribute if you have a bandit monster on the field. Okay, this is actually pretty good because if you have 3 of these in your hand and you have a bandit monster, you can get a decent sized board. So we got some good card here. Now we have the basic monster of the archetype, the Bandit. Earth level 3, 1000 attack, 900 defense warrior. This low-life thug will try to steal your stuff. He may seem intimidating at first, but he isn't hard to avoid or defeat. Not too much to say about him, just an average level 3 vanilla. Now, getting out of the bandit archetype, we have another immortal monster that I was like, ooh, this would be cool to put like a quirky sounding version of a real word like Blaze. Blaze, immortal of fire. It's a fire level 7 spellcaster effect with 2500 attack and 1000 defense, and its effect reads, this card may attack 3 times during your battle phase. Ooh, not bad. This card cannot attack your opponent's life points directly. Basically, the drawback of every card that can attack multiple times. During each of your end phases, you can special summon as many fireball tokens, fire, level 1, pyro, 200 attack, and 0 defense as possible, up to the number of monsters this card destroys by battle that turn. Now, here's an actual card that could be used in the meta, because if you could cheese this card out, yeah, this card can attack 3 monsters on the same turn, meaning that you can summon up to 3 extra monsters, tokens that you can use for anything. They're not limited to anything else, so this could be used a little bit in some troll decks, even today. Now, next is like definitely a joke card. This is also, I think this is a ritual spell card. This is 2014 when I made this. This is a rare year where I made like 1 card out of anything. This is the only card I made this year that is still on like yugiohcardmaker.net in all of its pretty much full form. It has Wilford Brimley's diabetes diagnosis. It's a ritual spell card. This card is used to ritual summon Lard Lad. You must also tribute monsters whose levels total 7 or more. Now, the wording on this one actually makes sense, but it doesn't say on the field or in the hand. So based on this wording, you would only be able to use the field monsters, so that kind of sucks. And it was just a joke card. Lard Lad was not, its picture was missing for some reason, but like Lard Lad, it was a really jokey level 7 ritual monster. I think it had like 4000 defense and 0 attack. But like when it was summoned, it like equipped Big Ass Nose to it or something like that. I think I had a card called Big Ass Nose. It was an equip card. It equipped from anywhere, including the graveyard, the deck, or the hand, automatically. And Big Ass Nose made Lard Lad lose 4000 defense, make his defense 0. So it was basically just a pointless card. Well, that was kind of an interesting assortment of cards there. It's basically your typical custom cards that have a little bit of understanding of like how Yu-Gi-Oh runs a little bit, instead of just being like, LOL, this is funny. I actually kind of like purposely made them not with like fake types and stuff like that, and like things that aren't actually like real. Like if it's a normal vanilla monster, it's not gonna have an effect. And most of them aren't overpowered. Like there was like a couple that definitely should not be printed. And you can see the progression of my understanding throughout the years from 2012 to 2015. So give me a little credit there. And that's it for my time, guys. Remember to like the video, subscribe if you're new here, and comment down below if you want me to actually make like a real like custom card archetype that has all the actual terminology and would actually possibly be a good deck. And I will see you guys next time.